is not safe for minorities, etc. Such a bunch of lies, ladies and gentlemen, because we have been looking at the story so closely, and I had a Samajwadi Party MLA live on the show this evening. Now let me come across to our panelists. Well, you look at those pictures. Look at those pictures. And I have just learnt a Samajwadi Party MLA, his name is Manoj Pandey, joined us on the show this evening at 7 p.m. And at 7 p.m, Manoj Pandey said a lot which was already in the public domain. We knew about that. This was a battle between two minority groups, two groups of Muslims. Sushil Pandit, this was not a Hindu-Muslim clash. They tried to give it a survey spin, saying that, and some said there will be an explosive situation across India because the court has given an okay for the survey. And then we found out there are two characters in this who've been booked. There is a Samajwadi Party MP
and the MLAs.
And there is an MLA. And then we found out in much more detail that this was a clash between Turks and Pathans in Sambal, right? And the spin given all these days is completely different. I'll get your opening comments on that, Sushil Pandit, and I'll open it up.
Thank you, Niranjan. There is a playbook. You keep your young ones, the boys, semi-literate, uninformed, raise them on a rich diet of religious extremism, on hatred, poison their minds, and keep this stock, this horde of stone pelters, street fighters ready to be instigated. And as soon as the call is given that the faith is in danger, that you need to step out in the service of your faith, you have a ready situation. All you need to do is reach out to the stockpiles of stones, the bottles, the iron rods, the sticks, and pile on. If it is the police, do it to the police. If there are hapless innocents, any group, any identity, especially the ones who you've been taught to hate, about whom you've been given venomous details about who they are and why they should be hated. And this is what happens. And you have a riot ready. But guess what? When there is the consequence of this, when there is tear gas, when there is baton charge, when there is firing, when there is bulldozer, you are ready to play victim. You say we were innocents. You say we had nothing to do. We are out there to, shop. Like Akhilesh was saying, Akhilesh Yadav, in that conversation with the chat with the journalist, was saying some boy stepped out to do some shopping. And these innocent bystanders took the bullet or took the baton charge and were injured or killed. This is repeated ad nauseum, over and over again, riot after riot, disturbance after disturbance.
Yeah.
I think we're now sick and tired of this concoction. We need to call out what happens, and we need to impose such consequences on people, the ringleaders, those who are puppeteers, not the ones who eventually do pelt the stones, even they, but do not miss out on the people who feed them this poison, who feed them this hatred, who ready them for this stone pelting, for this riot, for killing and getting killed. They are more important. They need to be identified and they need to be nabbed. Otherwise, we'll keep seeing the repeat of this playbook, riot after riot. And this country cannot afford this anymore.
Yeah.
We've had too much of it. And then the spin, spin by the politicians who stand by them, spin by those who are too willing to give them clean chits, spin by those who treat them as a vote bank, as captive foot soldiers for their political programs and political campaigns. Now, this needs to be called out, and an effective action, not just patchwork peace, not just some kind of give and take and some kind of deal in order to create an artificial harmony, some kind of bonhomie. No. Unless you target these puppeteers, unless you target these ringleaders who engineer this mob, who keep this mob ready, and who then quietly step aside when there is time to face consequences.
Yeah.
This needs to be done resolutely.
Okay, what I'm also going to do, as I try and get Vivek Salis, he's a spokesperson for the Samajwadi